All right. Hey, hey, hey. Okay. We are so excited because this topic that we're going to be talking with you guys tonight is like life changing. And so you guys are all here because you want to figure out how you get to your dream life, or maybe you just want to figure out how to even start the process of like thinking deeper into your life. So in this webinar, you're basically going to be receiving 3 action steps. So I hope you have pen and paper because we are literally going to be giving you tools and tips for you to take action as soon as this call is over. So first, we're going to share with you how to actually create a vision for your life. And this is something that not many people do. And I'll be totally honest, I never did it before either, but this is something we're going to be sharing exact tips on how you can create your own vision. We'll also help you break it down so that you can turn that vision into tangible goals. And then we'll give you those tools so that you can take action and take action now. So by the end of this call, you guys are going to have a fire in your belly and you are just going to want to shout from the rooftops how amazing your life is about to change. So Melissa, Sarah, and I are going to be the ones speaking tonight. So each of us will do a quick little introduction, but we'll each be covering these 3 different topics so that you guys can jumpstart your life. All right. So again, any questions you guys have, we'll be looking out for them. But Sarah, I'm going to pass it over to you. I'll mute myself and you can take it over, girl.
All right. Thank you, ladies, for joining us tonight. I'm super excited for this. This is something I'm extremely passionate about creating a vision. And also, it kind of goes together with planning and getting rid of that overwhelming feeling. And I have just been talking to my friends and other coaches and people on my Facebook about feeling overwhelmed. And I just want to get rid of that feeling already, right? So I'm like, the first step you need to do is basically think about what you want, what your vision is, and then plan it out. So why do you want to create that vision? Why do you want to be planning? And a lot of it's because we actually forget as adults to even have a vision or have dreams. It's something that we, at some point in our lives, stop thinking about. And I don't even know at what point. I think back to myself as a child and my parents and teachers and everything, just really telling us over and over again that whatever we want to do in life, we can achieve. We need to just work hard and we can do whatever we want. But at some point, you come to this kind of crossroad and reality hits you and it's like, oh, okay, maybe that's not true. And then you stop dreaming and you stop thinking about things you can do. And it's really, really sad actually, because I really breathe this into my children all the time about whatever they want to do, they can achieve as long as they see it, they envision it, and then they do things to get there. And that is what we need to change, I think, as adults, and kind of switch that back around to when we were children and dreaming big and dreams that are realistic. So, dreaming about winning the lottery. I remember that as a dream as, a young child, or probably not a child, but as a teenager, thinking about winning the lottery. I never played the lottery. I was too young. My parents never really talked about winning the lottery. But I remember friends' parents talking about it often. And they also did not play the lottery, but people talk about, it would be, if I won the lottery, I would do this. But you're not actually doing anything to even get to that point. Plus the odds are insanely not in your favor, right? So I think it's really important for us to kind of sit back and think about that. And what do we want? What is our vision? And you want to just be kind of crystal clear on your goals and things you want to get done. But really sitting back and going like, what is my purpose? What do I want to do in life? And it can be something like, I want to be an amazing mother. I want to stay home with my children. I want to be an amazing wife. And that's something that 100%, that was my vision. growing up, all I wanted to do was be a stay-at-home mom. And I had that opportunity as well when my kids were little. I did stay at home. I also worked from home because it seems nowadays you kind of need that double income. And so I did stay at home, work from home. But I got to a point in my life as my kids were starting to get older, because I do have 3 children that are 16, 14, and 11. So they're not little anymore. So I got to a point in my life where I was like, I don't know, is this it? Is this my purpose? I feel like I'm kind of going through the motions of life, and, life is just lukewarm at this point. And sometimes I've got some really great highs, and then I've got some lows, but I just felt like I was comfortable. And I got to the point where I wasn't okay with that anymore. I needed something more. And I did that. I discovered what my passion was, and I had to create this vision. And so last year, actually, for the very first time, I created vision board. And this is something we're going to be talking about in this call, is going to be vision boards and everything like that. And that is something I did for 2017. It was actually really, really fun. And majority of my vision board did come true. And we're going to tell you how to actually break that down and create that. Now, another thing, the whole purpose of having a vision and then putting it down, like you can dream and dream and dream, but if you don't actually have any kind of concrete plan or anything in front of you to remind you of that dream, you actually will slowly fall away from it and not do things to get there. So I want to share a story about my transformation, physical transformation, when it comes to health and fitness, because vision played such a big part in that. And I was so laser focused on, getting to my goals, that it was something I did daily. So almost 2 years ago, I was 30 pounds overweight, and I was just sick and tired of that. And so I was like, you know what? No, I'm going to make myself healthier. I'm going to create healthy habits, and I'm going to stick with it. And I'd never stuck with anything before. So I had said this same thing over and over again, year after year, and just kept on gaining weight. And so finally, this time, something changed. I actually would wake up every morning when it was time to get that early morning workout in. And I'm not a fitness fanatic. I do work out pretty much every day, but it's not like I don't love it. I love what it does for me. And I love it once I start getting going. But still, I'm like everybody else, where you don't want to get up and work out, right? But I would vision myself at the end. Like, what am I going to feel like when I get to that goal? And I was wearing size 14, 16 pants, extra, extra large shirts. And I was like, what would it feel like if I got to wear a medium? What would that feel like to be in the size 8 pants? And so I would think about that over and over again every single day. And so that, putting that right in the front of my mind, and convincing basically my subconscious that that was who I was already, caused me to do the things every day to get to that point. And like this top right now, guys, this is an extra small, and that's the size I wear. I wear small and extra small, and I'm in size 8 pants, and I can't tell you, that feeling was even better than what I even envisioned when I actually hit those goals. And so that is why you really want to turn your visions and your goals into something concrete that is right in your face, and where you can look at it every day and go, okay, this is what I'm working towards. And so these are the actions I need to do to get there. And then you start doing it. You create these habits, and the habits take discipline. But if you want that success at the end of the day, you're going to do those things. So when we are talking about vision boards and putting it all out there on paper, however you want to do it, you can, we'll tell you there's ways to do vision boards electronically, like on the computer, and using free websites, like something like canva.com is a free website where you can create a vision board and all these other cool graphics, super simple to use. And then you can save it to your desktop computer. I had my vision board saved on my phone all last year. So having it like that digitally is really nice, but it's also super easy to go and grab magazines or print pictures off the internet and cut and paste them, kind of thing. And you kind of want to start by creating some kind of categories. And so there's things and there's goals you want. And where do you want to put those? How do they divide up? Where do they go? So thinking of some categories would be like something like personal. So a personal goal could be like spending once a month getting my hair cut, maybe not once a month for women, but maybe once a month getting nails done. That's my goal every month. And I do it. Eyelash extensions, like fun things like that, where that self-love, even just like spending once a week soaking in the tub watching Netflix and just like locking the bathroom door, kids stay away kind of thing, just having that time to yourself. That can be a personal goal, right? And then you can also have your health and fitness goal. And we as a society, I find, for me especially, going for that quick fix and then doing it, succeeding, and then obviously gaining weight back again because it doesn't work. So instead of going for the quick fix, let's talk about creating an actual healthy lifestyle. And what does that look like? What are some goals for your health and lifestyle, fitness and everything like that? Being active, maybe going to the gym, maybe doing at-home workouts, maybe joining a boot camp, maybe just going to a yoga class or something like that. And then talk about nutrition. How can you eat better and everything like that, right? You want to also have goals in that category, but be specific with them. And then something like work, maybe at your job, you're at a point where you can kind of climb that corporate ladder. And what does that look like? What are some things you have to do to actually get there? And so you can think about your work, your home and family life. Okay, so it's really funny because every year I have like a vision is to have my house cleaned every night before bed. Okay, so that has not ever come true, but one day I know it will. And maybe it'll be because I have a house cleaner here every day. I don't know. But my goal is having my house cleaned every night before I go to bed and getting dishes done. And it can also include getting my kids to do it, which they mostly do a lot of it. And what about financial? Maybe you have some really good financial goals. So that is something myself, I had huge financial goals. We like to travel as a family. And so creating some kind of financial goal is really important. And it's something I did and I ended up actually doing. I do online health and fitness coaching so that I can go on vacations with my family. I can afford the extra things. So that is what you want to do. You want to think about your vision. Why do you want that vision? How is it going to feel when you accomplish that? And then put everything into categories. And what does your vision board look like? Kind of lay it out in your mind. So that is all I have. I'm going to pass it off to Danielle now, who's going to talk about the very next step in this. So thank you, guys.
Okay, before I start talking, can I share with you really quick? I'm drinking my tea. Can you guys read what this says? Okay, my tea bag, I drink yogi tea, and it always has like a fun little thing. It says, appreciate yourself and honor your soul. I thought that was so perfect for tonight, okay? Because tonight, this is why you're here, guys. You want to create a vision for your life because you know that you deserve it. You know you are worthy. And every freaking woman at some point in her life, she feels unworthy and unable to accomplish things in her vision. So that is why we're here. We want to give you guys exact tips. So pen and paper ready because I am literally giving you specific things that you can do for your vision. So just like Sarah was talking about, there are different aspects of your life, okay? And if you are living an unbalanced life, then you may be putting too much energy into one part of your life. That is why it's important to create a vision so that you can look at your whole entire life and you can look at it in a balanced direction and you can set action steps so that you go in the direction that you choose. So for me, the most important pieces of my life are my relationships and the people I love. It's my career and my financial goals, my health and fitness, and then fun. If fun is not on your vision board, then freaking add it on your vision board because if you're not having fun, then what's the point, okay? So when you are thinking of your vision, you're thinking like, okay, if I couldn't fail what would I want most out of my life? Okay. Maybe it is a freaking huge ass house with 2 stories, a huge kitchen, whatever that is. Put that thing on your vision board. Maybe it's to make $100,000. Maybe it's to go on this dream vacation. Whatever it is, that is what we mean when you make a vision. It means like go above and beyond of like what you would ever imagine, and put it on your vision board with the passion and fire that it's going to happen. Okay. And Melissa's going to talk more about that on how to create that. But I want to give you exact things to do so that you can start breaking down your vision into goals. So let's say you have all of these different visions for your career, for your family, for your fun, for your health and fitness. Okay. It may look like things like, I want to lose 100 pounds. I'll make all this money. I want this dream home. I want to go to Disneyland, whatever that is. Now, how are you going to get there? You can't just like throw it into the world and it's going to come true. No, like you have to manifest energy and you have to have goals in order to get you closer to that vision and to that dream. Okay. So I'm going to give you an example. First of all, when you create your vision, it's so important to reflect. So for example, at the beginning of the new year, I created my vision board and I reflected on last year and I thought, was I doing what I needed to do last year to get to my overall vision? And I thought about ways that I succeeded or I failed. What was I proud of? And then I'm able to like start getting my momentum moving in the right direction to refocus on, okay, I failed in this area last year, but this is what I'm going to do this year to move in that direction and to hit success this year. Okay. So I'll be totally honest. Last year, one of the things I felt I failed in, or one part of my life, was my career, was my business. And so I had huge goals for myself and I didn't hit them. So this year, I am really refocusing on my career and my business, and I am making sure that I'm putting things in place so that I'm getting closer to that. So when you reflect, you can then see your vision and then you break it down into exact goals. So for example, when I first started my health and fitness journey, I knew what I wanted to feel like. I knew what I wanted to look like. Like I just closed my eyes and I was like, okay, if the future Danielle came and knocked on my door, what would she look like? What would she sound like? What would she act like? And in my brain, all I saw was this like beautiful fit girl. But I also heard like confidence. I heard excitement. I heard passion. She talked in a way that like she didn't second guess herself. Like that's what I saw. That was the girl I saw coming to my door. And so it gives me goosebumps thinking of it right now, because like that's who I wanted to become. And so I knew if I wanted to become that person, I had to put actions into place. And I stumbled across Beachbody workouts. I stumbled across this nutrition plan. And so I found this perfect little solution that was placed in my hands. And I was like, this is freaking it. I see where I want to go. I see who I want to become. So it took little effort for me to say, I'm committing right now. Like I'm doing this. It's right here in front of me. And I'll be totally honest with you. I had no freaking clue how it was going to turn out. I had no idea if I was really going to turn into that girl I envisioned. But all I knew is I needed faith and I needed to trust the process and believe in myself and just do it and just figure it out along the way. So that's what I did. I started these workouts that I did from home. I started following this nutrition plan, and each week momentum kept building because I was seeing results. I was seeing myself getting closer to that girl that I wanted to become. And so with that, I had an overall vision of who I wanted to become, but I had to break it down into smaller pieces because it's overwhelming. Like when me before, like I was a overworked teacher who was exhausted, who had zero energy, like me thinking I was going to be like this energetic, fun, cool girl who had all this confidence. Like I didn't necessarily believe that, but I broke it down into little pieces. Like, okay, this program I'm going to finish. It's a 21-day program. I'm going to do it. Okay. But then I had to break that 21 program into weeks. What am I going to do this week so that I can accomplish this program? What am I going to do in this day so that I can accomplish this program? So your huge vision is overwhelming and scary, but when you break it down into yearly goals and then break it down into quarterly goals and then break it down into weekly and daily goals, then I guarantee your passion and your fire is going to continue to have momentum and move you closer to the vision. But you can't do that without reflection. So you know how I told you, like I reflected on last year? Every day I look over my day and I say, okay, what did I do today that moved me closer to my vision? What did I do today that got me closer to my goal? What didn't I do today that I missed out on? And what am I going to do tomorrow? And when you have that reflection period at the end of every single day, even if it's in bed with like a little journal and you're just journaling, whatever that means for you, you have to reflect and you have to decide what you're going to do tomorrow to get closer. Okay? So giving you a framework. So I want you to think of a full year. Okay. So let's say vision long-term, like 5 years. This is who I want to be. This is who I want to become. Okay. So now you need to think of the year 2018 and you need to think of this year of what do you want to accomplish by the end of this year? So in your career, what do you want to accomplish by the end of this year? Okay. I want you to write down 3 of those goals. You don't have to do this right now, but write this in your notes. You're going to create 3 goals that you want to complete by the end of 2018 when it comes to your career. Okay. I'm just giving examples. You don't have to do career, but whatever parts of your life are really important to you, create 3 goals for each of those parts. So for me, I did career, my business. I created 3 goals of what I want to complete by the end of 2018. So it might be making a certain amount of money. It might be hitting a certain rank. It might be helping this many people in their health and fitness journey, but I write that down as my goal. I do the same thing for fun. So for fun, by the end of this year, I want to take 3 vacations by the end of this year. Okay, so you're like doing all of these goals for fun, for your health and fitness, for your relationships. And then you take that year-long goal and you think, okay, how do I take this year-long goal? And I break it up into quarters. Okay, so there's 4 quarters in a year. So in the first chunk of your year, what are you going to accomplish to get you closer to that end goal? Okay, so let's say you want to lose 100 pounds by the end of the year. Okay, let's just say that's your goal. What are you going to do in the first 3 months of the year? How many pounds are you going to weigh? What do you want to feel like by the end of that quarter? And you're going to break it down into then monthly and weekly and daily goals. So guys, the deeper and more clear you get on how you're going to get to your goal and how you're going to accomplish your vision, that's where the magic happens, and that's where the fire is relit every single day. And this is something that you can do, and it takes time. I can tell you that it took me a day to like really get clear on like my quarterly goals and my monthly and weekly goals. It takes time, but I promise you, this is something that is going to make it happen. If you don't do this, it's not going to freaking happen. You can't just throw something into the air and expect by the end of this year for it to happen. That's why New Year's resolutions are stupid. And I'm sorry, but they're stupid because people throw things out into the air and then they expect that this year it's going to happen. And then by the end of 2018, they're like, what the hell just happened with my life? I didn't accomplish anything I wanted to. But guys, if you put it into tangible actions and steps for you to take, then you can achieve anything, okay? And I just want to leave you with this before I hand it over to Melissa, okay? You may not know how to get there. You may have a goal. You may have a vision. You might not know how to get there, okay? What you need to do is you just need to get clear on what you want to accomplish and freaking start. I don't care if you're starting the wrong way. I don't care if you look like an idiot. I don't care if other people are doubting you. Just start. Just start the thing. Just do it. Who cares what it looks like, what it sounds like? Just start it and you'll figure the rest out along the way. But keep focused on who you want to become and where you want to go, so that you don't lose sight of who you are. Okay, let me look at my notes to make sure. Oh, one more thing before I switch it over to Melissa. So I was sharing with you how to make like concrete goals and break them up. I wish I had like 3 hours to really like break it down for you. And like, this is how you set a goal. This is how you break it down. This is okay. But we don't have 3 hours. So I recommend you get the book 12-Week Year. So the number 12, 12-Week Year. It's written by Brian Moran, I think. Brian Moran, his last name is Moran. I think Melissa's going to go get the book to show it to you. This book literally tells you how to create a vision, how to set goals, and how to break them down so that you freaking achieve them. And it's called the 12-Week Year because the focus is on quarterly goals. Yes, we have a big vision, but you need to think short term. What am I going to accomplish short term in order to have success long term? Okay. Again, if you guys have any questions, I haven't been looking at the chat, but if you have any questions, share them in the chat. Melissa, your turn.
Hey guys. Okay. So I only have 10 minutes left. I'm going to try and blow through this, but I want you to actually really hear what I'm saying, because as fast as I talk, it's still important. First though, this is the book. In case you didn't see it, this is what it looks like, 12-Week Year. And I'm an audiobook listener, by the way, but I still bought the hard copy because I wanted to make notes and write and stuff in it. So you might as well just get the hard copy first. Okay, so Danielle always pumps me the F up. Like, I want to just stop the call now and go redo my own goals because that was exciting. But what I want to do, I want to kind of like bring it back to reality level, because I'm always on calls like this and I'm like, yes, like rah, rah, let's go do that. And then I get off the call and I go back to my real life and my kids are yelling at me and my husband's like in my way or whatever. And I'm like, I can't, like, I don't have the rah, rah. So I want to just share a little bit about where I used to be. I never used to think about the future. So that question, like, where do you imagine yourself 5 years from now, 10 years from now? I never knew the answer. My answer was like, I don't know, here, like, we've grown up in this town. Our families are in this town. My husband's family owns a business in this town that he loves. So I guess I'll be here in this job in this town. And at that time I was working I used to work as a legal assistant. And I remember one day, like, pushing real estate papers through and thinking, oh my God, I cannot do this for the rest of my life. I'm not making any kind of impact. Like, sure, people are buying and selling houses or starting like corporate stuff, and I would do the paperwork for it. But I remember thinking, like, at the end of my life, this is what I'm going to have spent the majority of my time doing. Because when you're in a full-time job like that, 40 hours a week for the rest of my life, I like had a panic attack. Like, that is, I'm not leaving any kind of impact on this world, and I'm not leaving any kind of footprint. And so I did end up going into a job with a nonprofit that I loved, but it didn't end up serving my family. It felt good for my heart, but it didn't serve my family because I was working all of the time and not making any or very much income. So it just wasn't working for our family. And that's where I found the job that I'm currently in, health and fitness coaching, which does both. I get to set my own time. I get to like serve my heart. And I actually feel now going forward that I like am making a difference. And so when I became a coach, there was this big focus on why. Why are you doing this? And that's kind of the intention behind creating a vision and really sitting down and thinking, that is, why are you doing what you're doing in your life? Why are you in the school program you're in? Why are you in the job you're in? Why do you live in the town you're in? Why are you following the path that you're on? And when I started coaching, there was this big focus about why. Why are you a coach? And I was like, I don't know, to get skinny and rich, I guess. Like, isn't that good enough? And it's not. And if that's your why, great. But I can promise you it's going to get you deeper. And then one day I was having a conversation with my mentor, and she had said, we were talking about family vacations, and I realized that I really, like, we had been talking about taking the kids to Disneyland, and I was like, oh, I can't afford that. Like, we can never afford that. And then I realized with this new career, I could set goals for myself and set a vision for myself where I could pay for us to go to Disneyland. And that created butterflies in my stomach. And I realized that was my vision for the start of my business, was to take my family to Disneyland. And it was scary to dream bigger than I'd ever dreamt before. my head started filling with all these doubts. Like, who do you think you are to do this? Like, you're not, you don't have a health and fitness background. You never started there. You don't know what you're talking about. You don't know what you're doing. Why do you think you can make that much money doing this? Like, nobody's going to listen to you. And so I brought that to my mentor and the community of coaches, my coach besties. And they really said to me, like, do some personal development, read some personal development books. And I was like, no thanks. Like, that shit is not for me. And I kind of blew it off. But I couldn't get over this hang up of, I had these dreams, I had this vision, but that vision was fading because of the self-doubt that I had. And so I was like, okay, I'll start reading some personal development. I didn't tell anybody at first because I'd been so adamant about not reading this woo-woo crap. And the most amazing thing happened. My mindset changed and my personality changed. And I became open to new things and new ideas. And I no longer was afraid to dream big, to have big, audacious, scary goals. And instead of saying to myself, can I do this? Can I do that? Can I reach that goal? I started saying, how can I? How can I get there? What do I have to do? What are the goals I need to break down to get there step by step? And for me, like the vehicle, I guess, of that, of doing these things, reaching these big dreams that I have, I had a dream to quit my job at the nonprofit. I had a dream to take my family to Disneyland. I've had these other fitness goals, fun goals, family goals, to set a schedule of my own. And I've used my career in coaching as the vehicle to reach those things. I did retire myself from that job. I did take my family to Disneyland because I did the brain work, the mental work, to back up those big goals. So my step 3 for you, step 1 was creating a vision. Step 2 was breaking down those goals. Step 3 is to prepare your mind for the future that you're dreaming of, because it's going to be scary. You're going to have doubts. There's going to be people that doubt you. You're going to think, like, what am I thinking of? I can't replace my full-time income. I can't go on a vacation that far away. I can't buy a house. And you're going to need to back that up with your mental game. And that's where personal development can really come in there. And I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm still get butterflies. That just means my goal is big enough and big and scary enough, I guess. I do still get scared, but that is with the support of my people, my Danielle and Sarah and my mentor. That's what they're for, is to back me up and say, girl, you got this. They recommend more PD for me. And you guys, if you are in the group, the Busy Babes group, you guys have been seeing, we've been sharing podcasts every day. You can get podcasts for free. You can buy audiobooks. You can buy books like The 12-Week Year that are going to help you create that future that you want by preparing your mind first. So that's step 3, always doing your PD. Considering, is everything that I'm doing, is this thing that I'm doing, is it moving me towards that goal or further away? Like Danielle said, taking it one step at a time, breaking your big goals into little bite-sized goals and learning along the way, right? So don't be afraid to have that vision. Don't be afraid to set those goals, because there is a way to reach them. And if you have huge goals and you have big dreams and a big vision for your life and your family's life, and you're not really sure how to kind of go about breaking that down or getting there, or you want some help in your mental game, in your PD, that's what we're here for. So please feel free to reach out to the person that invited you, or the one of the 3 of us. If you're not in the group already, feel free to reach out to who invited you to this call and get in that group for the stuff that we're posting in there. Otherwise, I just want to thank you guys so much for taking time out of your lives to listen to this, and I really hope that it was beneficial. We're going to post a recording so you can watch it again, because we're very fast talkers. And I hope that you guys have an awesome night. All right? Thanks, guys.
Thank you, guys.